What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Counting Wisdom podcast. I wanted to talk about my thoughts about being overwise. I think about this verse in Ecclesiastes kind of a lot, I think, when it says, don't be overwise, and it links that to destroying yourself. And I think I noticed this in kind of the scientific community that, sometimes I think some of the things that people are thinking about, even though it may be true, it may not be true, but at the same time, it may be true. I think sometimes people are concerning themselves about things that I think are, too great for us on some level. Now, I do think that there is a place in our life for science. Obviously, it's impressive the things that people can do, and the people find out how to create something or how, this particular part of the earth works and different things like that. But I just, thought of something. I looked up this sort of fact that I heard. It was something about time and how time works. And so I looked up more information on it online. And, I found, just how people were really having all these different hypotheses and theories about, something in regards to time. And so it really sparked, at least what my understanding is of kind of being overwise, in that, I think sometimes the things that we can look at, especially in regards to science, I think can really destroy a person's faith. Especially, scientists, they may look at something and they're like, oh, I see this works in this process here. So, I understand the world to work in this way. And so, they can sort of set aside faith, I think, in many different ways, or set aside maybe something that is simpler in regards to how the world works. And especially, I try to take the Christian perspective on this channel, and obviously it's Bible wisdom. So, taking a more biblical view of how the world works and how things should be done. For example, when you go into a doctor's office, many doctor's offices, you most likely won't find the doctor saying, okay, let's pray for you, or, let's do something that Jesus, some technique that Jesus did in order to heal someone. I've always thought that, Jesus showed in some way that putting mud on someone's eyes can be linked to healing them of blindness. That was my thought, that Jesus was sort of showing us. But obviously, many of us can sort of, read that story and we think, Jesus is just showing us that he has the power to heal eyes. But hey, what if Jesus is sort of linking, putting mud on someone's eyes to, possibly finding a cure for blindness? But anyway, my whole point is that, I think a lot of the world ignores, so much that the Bible has to say. And I'm sure that, maybe they do investigate some of it, possibly. But, I think overwise can be, linked to, maybe discovering something that I think could possibly be put into the unnecessary type of knowledge. Now, I get that, it is fun to, learn about different things, and who am I to judge someone who, chooses a certain topic that they want to learn about, but I just wanted to offer some thoughts on, what it means to be overwise. And I know that I have my own personal career goals, or, different things that I'm personally interested in that, you know, um, not everyone's the same. So some people may have more of a drive to look deeper into, some question that they have, or, some thing that they're wondering about. And, obviously, I have said this before on a topic like this, that, I think many inventions are great, as far as, different things that people have invented over time, and I think there's many things that, I think I'm grateful that people have, looked deeply into, how to discover something. But I think there are certain categories of knowledge that, definitely destroy us, even as Christians, when we look into maybe evolution, and we look deeply into, let's take a look at studying, the Big Bang Theory or different things like that. And, I think that can really harm our faith, especially because, we see many people in the Christian realm who do take more of a Big Bang Theory type of route when they talk about the creation of the world. And, they do take more of a Big Bang Theory in their thinking in regards to, hey, maybe this was possible. Maybe this God didn't speak the world into existence. Maybe he used a big bang to create the world. And, these are things that Christians do actually preach, from the pulpit, instead of, preaching strictly what the Bible says. And so I think that could be used as one example of, what it means to be overwise, is that, it can be linked to destroying ourselves, where, I don't know if it's, directly connected to, maybe destroying ourselves physically, like in our health. I that's when I look at that term, destroy ourselves, I generally think of, probably every type of destruction, I guess. But, I know one example, that I just shared was that, hey, if someone really looks into something that, some scientists or something has studied out, as a Christian, I think that can really destroy their faith when they start to sort of believe, maybe they are right in, this certain thing. And I think there's a lot of examples in regards to creation that, being overwise can sort of hurt us, as far as, maybe really having faith in God. I think there's other things too, that I think are in, just again, in an unnecessary type of way that we don't need to study. I know there are, certain books that are made, plenty of books that I don't think would really benefit me in much of any way to really study it, and I know it's kind of a human nature type of thing to say, hey, I want to learn about everything, and, try to reach, get closer to God, in that we, know about so much in a way, or at least we think we do. And so, I know that it wouldn't necessarily benefit me to read, much more into certain topics. For example, I do like to learn about space, or astronomy and different things like that. But I know for me, and my personal goals in life and different things like that, that, I might not waste a whole lot of time, really studying maybe more than one or two books about space, and I think even just from the standpoint of how you can be wasting so much time, studying something that, unless you are, a sort of astronomer, as far as, your goals that you have in life, and that is maybe your job, as you're looking into the stars or something like that, then obviously I think it would make more sense, especially, if you are wanting a career kind of in that way. But, I'm just trying to make the point that, as far as expanding on what I think Ecclesiastes, can mean, is that, there are different things that I don't think we should really waste our time on, and when you think about maybe climate change, or, different things like, trying to do certain things that don't really matter. Another example is just how, realizing that the world is going to be destroyed. Now I know that, you have to first believe in God, and believe in Jesus Christ and believe in the Bible to kind of understand that. But at the same time, I think there are many goals that people can have and that they're spending so much time doing that, really don't make sense. Another area is, certain jobs. I find people, I said this already, but it seems like people are sort of eliminating jobs, even though, on some level, like, yeah, okay, maybe you want to, make your business more efficient or something like that. But at the same time, you see people eliminating jobs that it doesn't necessarily need to be eliminated. I don't know, like, even flipping a burger, like, yeah, it could make sense to get a robot in there, and, you don't have to worry about, taking breaks or whatnot. But, when you think about it, at least from, what I've sort of, kind of understand, is that it doesn't really make sense to take that person's job away, just because maybe you don't want to pay them more. You don't want to pay them more, so you're going to replace that job with a robot. Now, it would make more sense to replace a job that is sort of dangerous. Like, I don't know, I've seen videos of operating an oil rig, and, if you could get a robot to do that, or automate the whole thing, that would be great, and that would make more sense. But when you talk about eliminating jobs that, it's not really even hard to do that job, it's not even really a stressful thing, then it seems like there's many things that people are doing that, don't make sense. Now, I know that for me, there are things that you can do, maybe as a hobby, or, maybe as, something to, have keep yourself busy and different things like that. And I, can understand, maybe why, people would build better buildings and different things like that. But, especially in these last days, some of this stuff doesn't make sense in that people are trying to do it, hey, inventing a flying car, that makes a little bit more sense because, hey, there is a lot of traffic, and hey, we do need to eliminate, some of the traffic that's in the road because, it's getting congested and it's getting crazy to even just try to make it home because you're like, wow, I got to spend an hour in traffic to go really not that far. If there was no traffic, it would be like a 20-minute drive. But now that there's traffic, it's like an hour and a half. And so, anyway, I think all these things are sort of in the category of being overwise in that, especially, trying to discover something that God has not revealed to us, even though I do think there are certain things that the Bible seems to indicate that, we can sort of uncover or find something out as far as, something that is sort of hidden. I think God, uh, doesn't reveal everything, right away. But at the same time, I think when expanding on being overwise is that, there are some things that, we shouldn't even waste our time in, trying to figure out or discover. And so, anyway, thanks so much for checking out this particular episode. I do think that we do have a need for scientists. I do think that we do have a need for astronomers and, space exploration, but I think we definitely need to couple it with the Bible. It would be great if all these people had faith in Jesus Christ. And it would be great if, everyone was on the same page about, serving God and, living in a better world and under God's rules and different things like that. But obviously, that's just, not what this world is doing. So anyway, thanks so much. And I will talk to you on the next one. See ya.